We have a WWE themed medal event coming to Clash of Clans with 3 new event troops, awesome decorations, and a brand new epic equipment for the Queen. We have a lot to cover. So in this video, we're going to break down the details of this event, talk about the stats of the temporary troops, as well as the best rewards for both free-to-play players and spenders. To start off, let's talk about the event details. The WWE event will start on the 8th of April and will go all the way till the 29th of April. The soft currency for the event will be the event tickets, which is similar to previous medal events. However, you can only earn tickets by attacking gold storages or town halls. These tickets will help you progress on the event track and earn champ medals to use in the shop. Now, all of this is similar to things that we've seen before, but wait, there is something that is brand new. As you guys can see, every army camp will be changed into fighting rings that will have one of the following troops inside. The rings will have either a Yeeter, a Giant, the Disarmer, and Kane. So why is this a thing? Is it just a cool cosmetic change? No, there's actually practical consequences to this change. When the army camps get destroyed, the temporary troops will either assist with the attacking troops or they're going to be defending the base. The Giant and Kane will always go ahead and help the attacker in their attack, but the Disarmer and the Yeeter are going to be more defensive troops, similar to what we see with Clan Castle troops. This is a really great change in my opinion, since it adds a bunch of variety to the event. Additionally, it requires you to be strategic about where you place some buildings that you usually don't care about, and of course I'm talking about the army camps. Now, speaking of the temporary troops, let's go ahead and give you guys the breakdown on each of those. Now, the Yeeter is obviously familiar to some of you by this point because he was especially strong in Clan War Leagues this month and has been out since the start of the month, so I won't break him down any further. When it comes to the event track, the Giant is the first troop that you unlock. He deals splash damage to defenses and he has an insane 26,000 hit points. He also has a pretty high 1020 damage per second, and when he goes below 50% of his health, he actually enrages and does more damage as well as moves faster. Now obviously there has to be a downside to these insane stats, so he has a housing space of 50, which is really big. Now Kane is the second event troop that you unlock on the path. This troop has 2 phases. In the first, he just straight beelines for the town hall. In the second phase, Kane switches to just single target whatever is next to him, and he also does additional aura damage. Both phases have 9,000 hit points, but the first phase only has 800 DPS, while the second has 1200. The aura damage in the second phase is 300 DPS, and to balance this out, of course, Kane literally has a housing space of 75, which is really high. Now, to finish off the temporary event troops, the Disarmer is the third and final event troop you unlock from the event path. Now, the Disarmer is similar to the Valkyrie with its swinging attacks, but it does have a unique feature in that it attacks both ground and air. On top of this, the Disarmer targets specifically defenses and has high hit points along with pretty high damage. It has 2 separate effects, the first being that it has a speed and damage increase for the first 20 seconds of use, and the second being that the Disarmer actually has to be beat 3 times before it actually goes down, and this is an interesting feature, something we've never really seen before. And speaking of balance, of course, the housing space for this troop is 60, so it's in the middle of the Giant and Kane. Now, all 3 of these troops are really cool, and I think they have some pretty novel features, and I like the idea of having new event troops every single medal event, so it really feels like we're keeping the game fresh. I also really like the army camp change because I think it makes things a little bit more strategic, fresh, and I'm telling you, those defensive troops actually do quite a bit, so don't count them out. So with all of that out the way, let's go ahead and talk about the reward system. For all players, magic snacks are now available in the normal event track. Now, since they're temporary, once they're claimed, you only have 24 hours to use them. I would only recommend that you actually claim them when you plan to use them. Now, when it comes to free-to-play players, the rewards from the free track will give you 3100 champ medals. The bonus track will give you an additional 650 champ medals, and combining this, you get a really nice nice sum of 3750 champ medals as a non-spender. In terms of what to get, I almost always recommend getting the brand new epic equipment, and in this case it is the action figure epic equipment for the Archer Queen. This equipment spawns a giant for the Queen, as well as providing 1 second of invisibility, self-healing, and health, plus damage improvements. For the free-to-play equipment package, I would recommend getting the brand new equipment as well as 2 packs of Starry Ore. But of course, you don't have to just get the action figure epic equipment if you have your eyes on the other epics that are available. Now, the Lava Loon Puppet and the Electro Boots, which of these should you consider, if any? Straight away, I don't recommend the Lava Loon Puppet because the usage rates and strategies for this equipment are very low right now. However, the Electro Boots are really good, but so is the new epic equipment, so which one should you really get? Honestly, the new epic equipment is pretty dense and it's gonna be really hard for me to break down in this video, but at the end, I'll go ahead and give you some more details that should help you to make your decision. Obviously, if you did want the Electro Boots instead, you would just replace the action figure epic equipment with the Electro Boots. Now, however, there is a brand new super decoration that is available for you guys to get from the shop. This decoration allows you to spin for a random reward every time that you click on it. If you really want this super decoration, then you can go ahead and replace the equipment with the super decoration. However, I personally do not recommend this for free-to-play players because there are 2 really good epics on the market that can really help your offensive power. So with all the free-to-play rewards out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about whether or not you should buy the event pass and whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. For $5, you get 600 glowy ore, 80 starry ore, and 5,500 additional champ medals. Now with those medals, you could easily buy 2 books due to the pricing model in the shop, and for those 2 books alone, honestly, it would be worth the $5. So the fact that you get extra ores on top of this, as well as the opportunity to buy the Electro Boots at a discounted rate, just makes this an invaluable deal for spenders. And because I always get the question, yes, the Gold Pass is better value than the Event Pass. However, if you already have the Gold Pass, the Event Pass is also very good, and I would highly recommend getting it. And of course, if you do make any purchases, please make sure to use code BD in the shop. It really helps me out with all the content that we're making. So what are the best rewards for spenders and for those who already have the pass? You'll have a total of 9,250 medals with the 3,750 medals we spoke about before and the 5,500 from the pass. You'll have a total of 9,250 medals. Straight off the bat, you could go for the triple equipment pack, which will allow you to buy all 3 pieces of epic equipment, provided that we get an extra 50 medals somewhere throughout this event. This is most suited for players who are just trying to get all of their epics and unlock all of those epic equipment. For those who don't like the Lava Loon Puppet, or they just don't need 1 piece of epic equipment from this set, you can get the following deal with 2 pieces of epic equipment, 1 book of building or book of fighting, and finally a book of heroes or starry ore depending on your unique situation. An alternative option is that if you want the super decoration, you can get 2 epic equipment and the super decoration. Now for those of you who have all your epics and everything and you only need the brand new epic, this is the overall efficiency package that I would recommend. Obviously you would get the new epic equipment, but you would also get 3 books between the books of building and the books of fighting, as well as 1 pack of starry ores. Now if you're at like a max level, maybe you don't need the books but you'd rather have the ores instead to put into your equipment, you could get the brand new epic equipment every pack of both the starry ores and the glowy ores, and then finish it off with a book of heroes or just some shiny ore. Now this pack is great for upgrading your equipment, but I do have to emphasize that as long as you have things that you can use your books on that are longer than 12 days, it's actually a lot better for you to get the books. You can make your own decision though, I just have to make sure that I tell you that. Now if you wanted the new epic equipment and the super decoration, you'd replace that 2 equipment package that we talked about earlier player with the new super decoration. And last but not least, if you wanted the brand new epic equipment as well as the super decoration and the normal decoration that you guys can see on screen right now, then you would get the following pack: 1 epic equipment, 1 super decoration, 1 normal decoration, and 1 book between the Book of Building or Book of Fighting. Now these are all the packs that I would personally recommend to you as a player, and based on what's important to you, you guys can decide which one that you get. Overall, I think this is one of the best medal events in terms of bringing new content to the players, and I was super happy to break things down in depth. But one thing we didn't break down fully is the brand new action figure epic equipment. And it's important to know if it's good at all because you need to decide whether or not you're going to get it, especially as a free-to-play player. That's why you need to watch this video right here where I break down the brand new epic equipment with gameplay from the dev build so that you guys can decide whether or not this is actually good and worth your time to get.